My escape from the demon. This is a story of the stubborn boy I used to be when I was very small. One of my mom's uncle was seriously ill and brought down home from his place of work. And as the tradition demands, my mom and his other sisters usually go and keep the wife and children company overnight, to make them happy and keep them uh, company and alive. You understand what I mean? So on this fateful day, my moms could not go because the other women were there. In fact, what they were doing that we were doing it rotationally. Some women will go today, other women will go tomorrow, and like that. You understand what I mean? So on this particular day, my mom did not go. So the other women were there. Unfortunately, that night, that man gave up the ghost. So when the man gave up the ghost, the women that was keeping vigil, that was with the wife and the children, we were always keeping them, happy. Like I told that it was done rotationally. Raised an alarm and they started crying, in the village. They started crying. They started shouting, they started crying, signaling the death of that man to the entire community. This time I'm talking about, it was around between 1 a.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning. And my mother heard the cry. She knew that the man had stick the bucket. And she quickly stood up, put on her dress, and she told me that I should lock the door from behind. We were still together with our grandma. She woke our grandma and told our grandma that, yes, that this is what happened, that the uncle has kicked the bucket and he has to go there now. I'm talking about between 1 and 3 a.m. So when she was going, she told me to lock the door from behind. Because I was very small then. And I locked the door from behind. Do you know that immediately my mom left the house? For about distance from then, I opened the door quietly. I didn't allow my grandma to know. I opened the door quietly and followed her. She didn't know I was coming. And she has gone a bit distant from me. And I was following her. Quietly, I was going. Though the place was not too far, but it was not too close to our house as well. For some distance from there. Do you know that in between my mom and I saw a tall image. A tall image just appeared from the bush. Very tall. And it was glowing right from the top to the bottom with different lights, red, blue, green. And it was flashing in between my front. It was close, as if the image wanted to touch my head. And when I looked up, I got frozen. I got and I shouted, and I turned back and I ran. The way I ran, I have never run that kind of a race before. In fact, if I were to be an Olympic athlete, I would have taken a gold on behalf of Nigeria. That race was so terrible. And when I got it, when I was running, I could not even look back because I thought that image was going to pick me up. And when I got to the door, I fell on the door, and the door just gave way, and I went and locked the door. My grandma said, "What's happening? What's happening?" I could not say anything. I was just breathing. That is a lesson for a stubborn boy. That is a lesson to any child who is stubborn. Of course, I don't know what that image is. I don't know what that image. It could be a terrible thing. It could be a demon. Of course, I thought it was demon. No, it could be a spirit of that man trying to threaten me because of my stubbornness. I wouldn't know, of course. But that is a lesson for a stubborn child. So please, children, adults, keep talking to your children. Stubbornness has its own negative consequence. Thank you.